Hello, everyone. Gaeilge, and welcome to my video on what are you doing to plan for your first trip to Ireland? I've been asked a few times about why Ireland? Why am I interested in going to Ireland? Why am I learning the language? All this kind of stuff. So, sort of beyond the ancestry question, what really got me interested in Ireland was James Connolly, the man, the myth, the legend, James Connolly. So while, yes, we know he is this amazing freedom fighter, and we know that he's one of Ireland's heroes, there's so much more to him. He didn't care about what religion you were, didn't care if you were Protestant, you're a Catholic, whatever. He didn't care. He cared about human rights, and he cared about people coming together for their liberation. He grew up in poverty himself. He lived his life in impoverished situations most of his life. He had a very rough life in terms of his personal life and his family, but he always kept fighting for people. He helped with the soup kitchens. He was helping with women's rights and the suffragettes. Him and Constance Markievicz were super good friends and were helping society in so many ways. So once I started learning about Connolly and the history of Ireland and the music of Ireland, as a musician myself, as a singer, I appreciate the Sean-Nós culture in particular. And what I care about here is what I also care about in Ireland. You know, I'm interested in the housing crisis. And that's where a lot of my time goes, volunteering in certain groups that are fighting for human rights. This is not going to be a typical Irish planning trip. For those of you that know me, I am strange. And so if you're a random internet person, you will learn that quickly. And I also have an anthropology background, an academic background. I'm always passionate about learning and I love culture, have been since I was a kid. So for me, this trip is going to be like the history and Craic trip. So go grab a drink, let's hang out and talk about what I have planned. So my boyfriend and I have planned for 3 weeks. One thing that's making this happen is airline points. You can actually use these things. It's real. You can book both of our flights completely covered, some of our accommodation covered. This thing is amazing. I highly suggest it. All right, so we're going to be there for 3 weeks. The timing of it, I was like, we're going to go in May, and the main reason, quelle surprise, that we're going to be going in May is because there is James Connolly Week is in May, of course, in Dublin. So the first place that I want to go to when I arrive in Dublin is the GPO. Gonna hit up the GPO, number one. No more questions about that. And of course, I want to see the Connolly statue. He's so hot. You want to be hot? Fight for human rights. And then like you're automatically like hot. Obviously, something else I want to do, which is kind of typical, a lot of people do this, is going to Kilmainham. I have been looking on their website. Booking tickets has been interesting. So they only book about a month in advance, and it's almost like always sold out. So yeah, I hope I can get a ticket into Kilmainham. I'm trying to not go on like the weekend. And of course, I'm going to hit up some cemeteries. I want to go to Glasnevin. I want to go to Arbor Hill. There's going to be some tours there that I want to check out as well. And don't downplay cemetery tours, because that gives a lot of history into who was involved, where, what, how. So there's 2 places I want to check out, 2 bookstores in Dublin. Go figure, Connolly Books. This place, I don't know if I'll be there for like a full day inside this place. I cannot wait to go. I also want to check out, because they have a lot of books as gaeilge that are in Irish. on Shoppa Lauer, gaeilge books. I'm really looking forward to that to see, yeah, I'm going to be hanging out in the kids section because I can't really get to the intermediate levels of Irish here. So, I'll maybe get some kids' books in Irish. Okay, so I do want to speak about the pub situation in Dublin. So when I kind of put a call out of like, where should I go? What definitely bar should I go? Because I already knew some of the places I want to go to. But I also want to go to Scale, which is a cafe. Again, you can order a gaeilge, you can order in Irish. I'm going to attempt that when I'm there. It might be pathetic, because like even recently, I went to the kneecap show and pre-show I was there and I was taking a picture for somebody that I just met there and they were taking a picture with kneecap. I took the photo and I mentioned that like I was learning Irish and I was like, Tameag Fulham de Gaeilge, I'm learning Irish. And then the minute that like, was it DJ Proby and Mowgli Bop were there, I think Mohara left. I forgot like everything I learned. I couldn't even remember basic stuff. I was like, there's something bulalat, Tashego Jas bulalat, and I wanted to say it's nice meeting you. Oh, and then I was asked by the lady I was with, I think her name was Maura, and she was like, where are you learning Irish? And I couldn't even answer. I couldn't even be like, E Hamilton or E Toronto. I could just said in Toronto or in Hamilton. And my nerves just got the better of me and I forgot like everything. I'm hoping that if I'm in certain areas or I end up meeting up with people who do speak Irish, that I won't completely blank on everything I've learned and that everything I've been practicing. So also not surprising when it comes to pubs here. The first pub I'm going to go to is Peter Brown's. This place looks amazing. I get to sing my face off. Can't wait. I can't wait. Also, Peter Kearney's. Want to go there too. Okay, and I have this list here of some other pubs that other people have suggested. And then there's other pubs that I want to check out. So some of the ones that people were like, oh my God, you have to go here. You have to go here was the Brazen Head. I was told about that one. And then Heinz Bar, I think, has Irish speaking staff, I think. I also want to check out the like rock metal scene in Dublin. So, balance history and crack. So I want to go to Riot. I've heard that's pretty cool. And Fibber McGee's. Cannot wait. I hope there's going to be like awesome music there those nights that I go. Now, Temple Bar. Listen, I know it's a thing. Why do I want to donate a kidney for a pint? Like, it's so expensive. And I understand Dublin's very expensive. But come on, guys. Like, just to get, I mean, I could do the selfie thing right in front, I could just do that without having to go in, or I could like walk in and be like, see, I'm here, and then walk out. Or, because I don't really like a lot of people. So if there's huge crowds, not going to be good. But maybe going on like a Tuesday afternoon or something for one pint to say that I had a pint there and leave. I don't know. I don't even feel the need to. It's just like everyone else is like, oh, and I'm like, no, but it's like it holds no significance for me and it's expensive. So I don't know. And then if we have time, may or may not go to Trinity College for the Book of Kells. I don't know yet. Yeah, the library's fascinating. Everything's great. I just don't know yet, because the other things are more important and priority for me. But there's also the National Archaeology Museum. Girl. Okay, so once we leave Dublin, we'll be renting a car and taking a one-way trip. And to start the journey from leaving Dublin, we are going to be heading to Cork. However, there will be a couple of stops on our way to Cork. And the two places that I really want to see on the way to Cork our Bonstown Cemetery in Kildare, where good old Wolfstone hang out. Love to pay respects at Bonstown. And then head over to the Tipperary Museum because you know that Clonmel history is going to be amazing. Despite O'Neill retreating from Clonmel with Cromwell being all Cromwellian, it was such a pivotal moment, I think, for many Irish people at the time because they had actually pushed back in a significant way. Where Cromwell seemed untouchable, that's when O'Neill and everyone fighting in Clonmel was like, oh, yeah, well, let's give you some resistance. So we only have one night in Cork, and this is awkward, but because we're going to be stopping at Barnestown and Tipperary Museum, I'm not sure what time we'll be actually getting into Cork. So I don't know how much stuff I can do at Cork. There was a Rebel tour in Cork, but they don't run during the week or something. And so I won't be able to go to that. However, there's a Cork Public Museum that I do want to check out, and there's a military museum. I want to check that out. So if anyone has recommendations, what do you think I would like in terms of if I'm going to a bar in Cork, where should I go? Maybe one or two. Where are like the best bars in Cork that I need to check out? And then we are off to Kerry for 2 days. So my boyfriend's family are the O'Sheas from Kerry, so Ballinskelligs, Port McGee area. So of course we have to go there. We'll be hitting up the graveyard. We're going to be hitting up some family that he still has out there, and we'll be staying in Killarney. And so obviously, if I'm in Kerry, we're going to do the Ring of Kerry. So probably just when we're coming into Kerry, do the Ring of Kerry before like settling in and everything. Now the Gap of Dunlow, that is if we have time. So we're going to do the Ring of Kerry and we'll see where things go because we are there to visit some family and then also do a couple of other things. So we will be going to Port McGee. When we're in Killarney, I want to check out Kate Kearney's cottage. But when we are in Port McGee, they have Port McGee whiskey. That would be pretty cool. And then day 2 of being in Kerry, we're going to hit up the next little outlet there over to Dingle and maybe check out the top of Coombe. I'm not sure. Or there's also like O'Flaherty's, I heard, is a really cool place to check out, and Patty O'Shea. And hopefully we get a little bit of rest time. You know, your girl's arthritic. I don't know. That's another kind of outlier in terms of planning this trip and going, I don't know if how much I'll be able to walk without just getting like, oh, I need to sit down and just feeling exhausted. I'm not sure. So it'll all be played by ear. So again, it's like I really just kind of want to do what's priority. And then if there's time, then do some of the other things. We will actually be heading to Leitrim in the evening. So from Killarney specifically to Leitrim, there's going to be a lot of stops. So that's going to be another long day. And one of those stops will be Galway. Hello. Now on the way to Galway, we will be checking out the Cliffs of Moher. I mean, come on, gotta do that specifically because there isn't going to be a lot of that kind of stuff. It was more strategically what is possible to do with where we're going to be when. The Polnabrone Dolmen, I want to check that out. The Tarak Theatre Bar, the Crane Bar. Oh, and the monument in memory of the Magdalen Laundry. Of course, I'm going to go to Galway. Like, I'm going to do that for sure. Because up the women, right? So again, we're not going to have a lot of time in Galway because even there's going to be a few stops once we leave Galway before we hit Leitrim. There are these 3 bars that I want to see. Okay, there is Luke's Bar in Offaly. Definitely want to go there. Then, of course, we're going to check out Sean's Bar, which is the oldest bar in Ireland. Got to go to Sean's Bar. And Anderson's Thatch Bar in Roscommon. This place looks awesome. I am not driving, by the way. He'll be driving and I'll be drinking. You can drink some fancy water or something. So then we head to Leitrim for the night, staying at a friend's place in Leitrim. Then early morning trip. We got to go to Letterkenny and drop off the car. Now, we need the car to go to the area of my people. Well, one of them. I do have some ancestry from Armagh, but everything's behind a paywall. Like, I'm just not right now. So I have found a lot out about the Wileys in Derry. And so we are going to, while we still have the car, heading over to Lena Moore Baby. And so that's kind of the area where my people are from now. This is before partition. There's still actually quite a lot of Wileys in Derry. And so that's where my people. So I like to joke that I'm a Derry girl. No, I'm not Irish. I wouldn't say that. I'm saying it for jokesies. But I do appreciate where my people are from. And I might do a video actually on where I got some of the information, because there's this crazy book in the library in Toronto that like you can't take it out of the library, and it's got like my whole family history, and it goes back to, it had this old map from like 41 or 51 showing like we're from Derry, and it's like circled, is crazy stuff. Anyway, so I gotta do a whole thing around there. Definitely going to Drumhaggart Cemetery, because I think we're almost sure specifically where I have some family buried there. Anyway, I'm going there. I'm also going to go to No Head Church, because that's where they went to worship. And that was even in the book in Toronto. It explains like one of the, I guess, a great great uncle of mine, there was like an actual write up about him in memoriam from some dude in the 1800s or whatever here, and was saying how they were in No Head Church. It's so cool. Like, so going from Leitrim to check that all out, drop the car off in Letterkenny before it closes, and then catch a bus to Derry. So now we're going to be carless. We're going to be in Derry for 3 days. So Derry is going to be really fun. And again, this whole trip is, I'm trying to balance out the heaviness of everything with, just some fun, and finding that balance is going to be tough, but I think I think I can do it. So for Derry, again, there's going to be a lot of my ancestors from that area. On top of that, I've got my list of things that I absolutely have to do in Derry. And there's a lot. So I definitely want to go to the Museum of Free Derry. I want to do the Troubles Bog sidewalking tour. That's one of the coolest ones I've found. And the Bloody Sunday Memorial, the Bloody Sunday Center, the Siege Museum. That's going to be cool to check out. There is also a Derry Genealogy Center. There's so much there to do, and it's like, what are you going to do in Derry for? No, girl, I've got a lot. I want to do Derry. And as for restaurants, I want to check out Ancho Restaurant. I heard like it's amazing. Also, Culturelawn. This place like seems pretty cool. I don't know. Is there anything else that y'all think I should do when I'm in Derry? Now, I'm not a craft person, generally speaking, but this looks like a really cool vendor area. And I've heard that Sandino's, Peter O'Donnell's, good bar to go to. But if y'all have any other suggestions for bars in Derry, let me know. Or any like good eats. What other good eats are in Derry? Whew, okay. Now going from Derry to Belfast. I think we're taking a bus. I think bus. I don't know if there's a train. I haven't totally looked into that part, but I'm like bus or train, whatever. Probably bus. Then I will be in Belfast for 5 days. I'm so excited for this one because I am going to stay in the Gaeltacht Quarter. And again, lots to do in Belfast. And I'm probably not doing something that everyone would be like, you need to do this. And I'm like, but I don't think I'm going to. Um, so we'll get to that in a minute. So I probably will be doing a walking tour of Belfast, obviously. On top of that, though, sort of generally speaking, I'm going to do the Giant's Causeway tour. That just, that coastline up there. I mean, I gotta. And also the Dark Hedges is a part of that particular tour, which is awesome. I will probably do a taxi tour as well, but I'm also gonna go to Milltown Cemetery. Cannot wait for that. That's going to be a heavy day. I definitely want to go to the bar after that day. There's the Irish Republican Museum and like Stormont. And I think the Ulster Museum is like free or something. I don't know. I am going to be going to the James Connolly Center. I will be there. I don't know. I don't know how many hours I will be. Like they will have to just physically remove me from that place. I cannot wait to go there. The thing everyone's like, go to the Titanic Museum. There's a memorial garden. I'll walk by that. I mean, again, I haven't even seen the damn movie, y'all. I just, I know that's like one of those things like what movie has everyone else on the planet seen except you? It's Titanic. I still haven't seen it. I just don't, and then after like all the museums and the walking and the heavy stuff, there's two other places I really want to check out because I love what they're doing. So there's the, oh yeah, Music Center, all music, all day, all the time. And the Show Some Love group, I still think they're looking for volunteers. So if anyone wants to volunteer with them, they've got a new community space. It looks amazing. Cannot wait to visit there. As for bars, give me any suggestions. And I've been watching this kind of like this food eats thing on Instagram. There's a lot of like going to check out food places every moment in Belfast. And there's some cool ones, but what do you think? Nothing spicy. So if you have any food suggestions for Belfast, cool. Pubs, check out the Rock Bar in Belfast. I'm going to check out Kelly Cellars and maybe Madden's Bar. Again, drop below any Irish trad music stuff. Like post that. Tell me. So it's going to be a lot of stuff in Belfast. I hope I can walk. Because there's also the Cultural Center in the Gaelic Tech Quarter as well. Oh my gosh, Irish language all day. And then leaving from Belfast to go back to Dublin for one last night. Again, I haven't looked into that yet, either bus or train. I am aware that there was an amazingly extensive train system throughout Ireland previously. That would be great to get back along with the language. So the plan is in Dublin for the last night. I guess maybe to do anything that maybe we forgot or we didn't have time for. One of those other kind of like, other than going for a pint at Temple Bar, thing that everyone really likes, and I just don't know, is the Guinness Storehouse. And I know everyone's going to disown me for this. No, I am interested. It's just like, is it going to be a time thing that we can fit into the other schedule with the other priorities? I'm guessing that we will have enough time for that one. I have tried Guinness. I've tried multiple Guinness. I just can't. I'm a harp girl. But I appreciate the significance of the Guinness Storehouse. So I think we can probably do it, and it might happen on that last night. I also wanted Christy Moore tickets, and there were tickets there. And then I was like, I'll wait a little bit longer. And then I went back and they're all sold out. 3 freaking weekends in Dublin, and we happened to be there, and he is sold out. So that would have been amazing. Whew, okay, so that is kind of the that's the plan. Anyway, we know how travel works, that stuff could go wrong. This is what I want to do. Um, and we'll just see what kind of time we have. But I still think it's a really good balance between having a great time, but really getting into some cultural stuff and history and things that are really important to me. And I will be documenting all this stuff. And I have no doubt that, like, the minute, because it's still not real, it's still not real to me. And I don't feel like it's real because I was kind of resigned that I wasn't ever going to go just because of life. But here we are. And I'm really excited for it. But it's not real to me until my feet are on the ground. So if you have any suggestions for me, or if I've missed anything, you're like, Raina, go here or do this or do this, let me know in the comments. Again, I'm having a hard time really wrapping my head around the scale of Ireland. I feel like it's a lot bigger than it is. And so I may not have planned enough. I don't know. I'm like, again, I won't really know till I'm there. I cannot freaking wait. And thanks so much for watching, and thanks to anyone that has helped me plan this thing. And I will for sure report back on how it really went. Thanks for watching, everyone.